I got to date girls who were city girls, and I
Yeah.
dated girls who were strictly province.
I feel a little bit guilty.
Winner!
Nowadays, you could really say that majority of women, Filipinas, are becoming westernized. Did you marry the wrong woman? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's vlog, I have Mr. Gia in the Philippines here again and again and again and again here in my channel. Say hi, babe.
Hello, everyone.
What's with the voice?
Hello.
Okay, so today's vlog, we are going to talk about what Gia feels about our marriage. If he feels like he married the wrong Filipina or woman. So, so this is like a candid video. So the contents of this video is gonna be talking about the differences between other Asian countries. Let's start with that. So you have dated some Asian women before. So what can you say about the differences between Vietnamese woman and Filipina?
Well, I dated one Thai girl and a few dates in Vietnam, even though most of them turned out to be English lessons. What are the difference? Well, Vietnamese are much more reserved, very much less affectionate, especially like publicly. Like, it's very common that you probably won't even hold hands until 3-4 dates out. So much slower moving. I don't have a ton of experience because I was really working so much when I was in Vietnam. But the most I dated one girl about 4 times, and it was just so slow and just so, it's kind of boring.
So how about the Thai girl?
Thai girl, I was in Thailand for 1 month, and I met her like the 3rd day I was there, and we hung out almost the entire time I was there. And she was very much a professional. She was an accountant and everything, but it was very money oriented. Like at the end of when it was time for me to go back, she's like, well, you know, if you want to continue this relationship, then, you know, if you come back to Thailand, you have to be able to provide this much money each month, and you know, to keep my living standard. And I was like, it just turned very, like at first it was good, and then all of a sudden it turned into like a financial thing,
like a transactional
thing, and I was like, wow, okay, well, so much for that. And then, well,
let's go with the Filipinas. Why do you think Filipinas stand out in all Asian countries?
Well, for me, I think it matches easier with Western guys. Like, we can have more things in common. Like, for one, like Christianity, for one, you know. 2, English is taught, so you can communicate better. I like the sense of humor. I think in Vietnam and Thailand, they're Buddhist. They have a whole different philosophy on life. Compared to Westerners. So it was harder to relate and have things in common. You know, you and I can watch movies together. You know, we talk about reading books, some of the same books. I just don't think we would ever have anything like that in common with most Vietnamese or Thai girls, Cambodian. I just don't think we would ever have that stuff in common.
Okay.
And even the sense of humor is totally different.
So guys, if you are looking for a traditional Filipina, I highly recommend Christian Filipina. The only dating services that I recommend, they always scan every Filipina that joins in there. So if you are ready, I have the link in the description down below. How about the Western women and Filipinas? Nowadays, you could really say that majority of women, Filipinas, are becoming westernized
Mm-hmm.
because of social
A lot.
media, what
Yeah.
they see in social media. Do you think that in the next couple of years, it's gonna be like there's no more Filipina, cultured Filipina, like traditional Filipina?
I think it's going to take a while still. I would say 20 years possibly, but it won't just happen overnight. It'll be a slow conversion. You
Yeah.
know, like already guys are coming to the Philippines saying, oh, I really wasn't able to find what I was looking for. Maybe they just didn't look hard enough, or they only looked in one area, perhaps. But I think it's already happening. But I think it would be a good 20 years
Yeah.
before it really fully. And even then, they'll still be behind America or England or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it won't be the exact same.
Can a Filipina be an independent working woman and still and can still be a traditional wife?
Yeah, yeah. I tell people this all the time. I think that's where a lot of foreigners kind of get it wrong. I think it's been pounded through their head that's like, we've got to get a province girl, we've got to have a province girl. But for me, I think there's more of a happy medium. There's more like the girls that maybe came from the province to go work in the city, so they still have that traditional value, but they also have some life experience, and they're away from the family, so they're not so tied to the family too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think province girls are probably way too connected to their family. They probably don't know life outside of their barangay. Maybe their English is probably less than a girl who lives in the city. And they have much less life experience. And I think we match up not as well with them as we do with a girl who maybe lived in the city. I'm not saying a girl who lived in the city entire life, grew up in Manila. I'm saying a girl who maybe came from the province to the city.
Most people, they like misinterpret that just because a girl, a Filipina, could speak English very well, knows a little bit of things about maybe about restaurants or stuff, things like that, they would assume that this Filipina has been with a foreigner,
right?
Or had too much. I had a lot of experience with dating.
And I can vouch because I worked at the English school with Filipina English teachers, and so all their English was good, and we had like almost 1,000 teachers, 95% female, and because that's who gravitates towards the teaching field usually.
Yeah.
And the majority of them had never even, a lot of them never even met a foreigner. I was like the only white guy in the school, you know. And a lot of them never even met it because they came from the province, but they spoke English well.
Yeah.
They had never dated a foreigner. So the fact that they can speak English well and teach English, but they've never even met a foreigner or dated foreigners, that kills that myth.
So I have a question for you. What really is a traditional wife or a traditional woman? Traditional
wife. I look back at my mom when I was a kid. She stayed at home, took care of the kids. That was when one income, you know, your father's income could pay for the house, pay for the bills, and mom could stay home, take care of the kids, and clean the house, laundry, all that. And it was never looked down on. It was very much an integral part of the family unit, you know, just as important as dad going out and working. And they were really, you know, like equal in the success of a family. That to me is a traditional woman, and I think most Filipinas, even if she's working or living in the city, would not mind stepping down into that role and leaving their job. So
I truly agree with that, because remember, I have the business, and it's like every day I'm out, I'm in the shop, like working and making kimchi, and we started living together already, right? And you would be left alone at home,
scared,
and
all alone.
wait for me to come home. And I feel a little bit guilty for not being there, and instead of like going and doing stuff together, and I'm here like working.
Right.
So I need to like choose. I need to choose which one I should prioritize in my life, and it was very easy for me actually.
Winner. Yeah.
Yes, it's very easy for me to close it down and just choose to be like stay at home, do things together with Gio.
That's the great thing about Westerners coming out here is you can come out here on your pension, and you can afford to, you know, have a stay-at-home wife and travel together, and it's like you step back into the 1950s or 60s in America.
Yes, so now that Western men pointed this out, that there's no more traditional women in the West, and they are like fleeing the country to find traditional woman to marry. Do you think there will be changes in the West? Do you think the Western women will change their ways and just like decide to be more traditional and prioritize finding a traditional husband?
There's already been like some pop-up channels and stuff of this thing called trad wife, right, where they're traditional. But the problem is even if a woman in America wants to be a trad wife, traditional wife, it's so expensive to live there now. You still almost need two incomes. And guys, if they go through a divorce, they end up losing. You know, they lose it happened to me. You know, you lose your kids. You end up paying alimony. You lose your house. You know, it's just not worth it for guys. So
so that's what I thought. If it's not so expensive to live in the West and one income is enough, it's gonna be okay. The women don't have to work, right? So she could stay at home and be do her role as a mother, as a housewife. But because she needs to work also, and she also needs to take care of the house and the kids, so she feels like it's unfair if she's the only person who's doing the house chores and taking care of the kids and also sharing money for the expenses. So it feels like it's unfair for her side because she's making money and she needs to do all of things. So
and that doesn't work because men want to be men. They want to take care of the woman. They want to take care of the finances. They do.
But the men can't take care alone of it if
unfortunately not.
Yeah, so I think if it's affordable to live there, maybe traditional housewife could be possible. And it's easy to find traditional wife here in Asia, specifically here in the Philippines, because it's cheaper to live here. So it's okay if there's only one person that is working. This is only applicable to Western and Filipina couples, wife. But if it's like middle class couple, Filipino couples, I don't think that would work. So the question, babe, is the one last question that I want to ask you. Did you marry the wrong woman?
No, absolutely not. You know, I mean, that's the thing is I dated a lot, you know, when I got here, and I'm kind of glad I did because I got to date girls who were city girls, and I dated girls who were strictly province, and young girls in their early 20s, and it took a while to kind of figure out the Philippines and to kind of figure out, you know, in America I could say, okay, I'm looking for this exact type of girl, but here it was kind of like learning again, okay, what is the exact Filipina I'm looking for? I wanted a girl who's also had some life experience, who's, you know, done a little traveling, and who maybe had her own motorbike, so she knew how to drive already. I wasn't the personal taxi, and had some work experience, and that was Maya. So here we are.
Well, the work experience I don't have.
Well, yeah, actually, I think it was better. I mean, you had the creative mind to come up with businesses, you know?
I only have one work experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
As a
that
waitress,
moment,
yeah.
I realized I cannot stand working.
I don't want to work for anybody.
Yes, so that's why I always make ways to
Yeah,
make money on my own, like doing little
Yeah.
businesses and other stuff.
that's what I loved about you.
So thank you, babe, for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome.
And I'm glad to know that you still
Like I had a choice.
haven't regret marrying me for like 5 months married.
Going on 6 months. We've been together over 2 years now. So
Yeah. If you like this video, you know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys again soon. Paalam!